Welcome to a year of miracles. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Sammy. I am the creator of Inner Bloom, and I'm going to be joined on this adventure with the beautiful Corina. A Year of Miracles is a rendition of A Course in Miracles. So, for those of you that don't know what A Course in Miracles is, it is a spiritual guide that helps people shift their mindset from fear to love. It teaches us that love is our true nature, and anything else like fear, guilt, conflict is an illusion. The miracle is the change in how we see things, letting go of fear and choosing love instead. It focuses on forgiveness, healing, and recognizing our connection to everything around us. So I'm going to pass you over to Corina, who is going to lead this whole experience. She's literally just completed A Course in Miracles in 2024. We're so blessed and privileged to have her with us, sharing her insights and her knowledge. I'll pass you over.
Hi, I'm Corina Levon, and I'm a spiritual guide and teacher. And as Sammy said, I just completed hosting a Course in Miracles workbook where I read all the lessons and guided my audience through the whole course. And it was dense and it was a lot. And so we really wanted to do this in a way that could be more easy to digest, more easy to understand, and more easy to practice, because I feel like the denseness of the material of A Course in Miracles really creates a barrier for a lot of people. And so in order to make this accessible and really seek in and really just be something enjoyable for everyone, we wanted to create this A Year of Miracles. So I'm really excited to do this, and I'll just share a little bit about the introduction to how this works, so that way you can know what we're in for. It's going to be beautiful. So I have some bullet point notes here, so you'll see me look at them. But what I want to first emphasize is that this is not something that we ask you to believe. This is something that we are asking you to be open to, and to be open to clearly seeing it yourself. So you're going to come across certain lessons where you may resist them, or where you may not be able to quite believe them. And that is okay. Just be open to what we're talking about, be open to doing the practices that we suggest. And you can even choose to follow along in the actual book, A Course in Miracles, if you want. You don't have to, but we definitely encourage it if you want to have a little more in-depth idea of what the lessons, what our versions of the lessons are inspired by. This is a mind training. So the first half of A Course in Miracles workbook is really about letting go of old perceptions and old beliefs and old way of seeing reality in the world. The second half of A Course in Miracles workbook, again, we're not doing the workbook itself. This is inspired by it. But the second half of these lessons is really about having a new, more clear, more pure way of seeing the world, reality, and yourself. So seeing through that illusion of form, seeing through that illusion of the thoughts that are creating limitation in your life, and seeing through the illusion of those emotions that make you feel different forms of fear versus forms of love. These lessons can be done anywhere. They're meant to be done one a day. So if you're catching this and you're a little behind from January 1st, start where you're at and do one a day. There's no need to catch up. Practice them one a day. Don't overcomplicate it. These trainings are meant to be used and applied on everything, every thought, every person, every event, every form. So you'll hear us emphasize, especially on the first handful of lessons, to not just choose certain things and leave out other things, not just choose the things that maybe create positive feelings or create negative feelings. It's really meant to be applied to everything, so you can see through the meanings that you have previously given the things in the world to your thoughts and to your emotions. True seeing has no exceptions. It has no limits. When and if you find an idea hard to believe or you reject it, as I mentioned before, please practice it anyway. Please be open minded. Please approach it with love. Don't approach it with forcing yourself to believe it. That's important too. Don't try to force yourself to believe anything. Just approach it with an open heart and an open mind, and use any resistance as a tool for transmutation. Use it as a way to empower yourself. Notice the resistance. Notice the resistance and allow it to dissolve in the openness that you are coming into this with. Don't judge. I won't say don't judge, but try to notice any judgment and put judgment aside. There's two big themes that are a part of A Course in Miracles that I would like to carry into this year in miracles. One is suspension of judgment, and the other is forgiveness. Forgiveness, especially for the self, in addition to all the things that we will be applying the course to, or these lessons to. And I think that's it for the introduction.
Lesson number 1. Nothing I see in this room means anything. This lesson is to help us let go of the meaning that we've attached to everything. Everything that you see in your reality, you have given it meaning, and it exists because of that meaning. This training is to help us let go of that meaning so we can detach from what we think we've always known and see reality for how it truly is.
Yes, beautiful. That's exactly what this lesson is about. We're undoing the previous meaning. And the thing is that there is this inclination to want to apply this to some things and not to other things. But this is meant to be applied to everything. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place, it's referring to everything you're seeing from where you are. So you're going to look around, and if you're in a cafe, if you're at home, wherever you are, you're going to first notice that and say, nothing I see in this cafe, in this room, on the street, in this place means anything. And then you're going to allow yourself to apply this to everything that your eyes rest upon. Everything, whether it's a speck on the table, whether it's a person, and say, this table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This person does not mean anything. And then look a little bit further out. That car does not mean anything. That puddle does not mean anything. That cloud does not mean anything. And apply it to everything, again, without discrimination, without choosing some things and not other things. Really look at everything equally and neutrally and apply it to everything. This is going to help you start to undo, like Sammy said, the way that we used to see things, the old meanings that we placed on things. So we can have more clear seeing of reality and approach things from that place of love where we desire to be.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And it's a great practice because you will see how much you judge everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
We judge absolutely everything. People, our thoughts, ourselves, things. Oh, well, that could be that. This could be that. We give meaning to everything, but we overgive meaning to everything,
Mm-hmm.
and which is just layer upon layer of false perspectives, which means we're cemented into this reality that isn't our truth. And so this is peeling back the layers of all the lies, all of the projections, all of the judgments that ourselves and other people have passed on to us, and beginning to see reality in its true light. This is one of my favorite lessons. If you just did this lesson alone, you would start to shift your perspective.
Yes, absolutely. And then also again it goes back into the more subtle meanings as well. So the things that it's easier, it's not easy, but it's easier to say, okay, well, this negative feeling or this judgment I have about this thing or this person or this event, that's an illusion, or that's based on shadow, or that's based on ego or whatever. But to see that even the more subtle meanings that we place on things, meanings that have no energetic charge to it, the meanings that we aren't even aware that we're putting on things, even those we need to peel back in order to see the truth and see the light behind it. So this is really about that. This is really about everything. You know, when you look at um, a puddle, maybe you don't think you're giving it meaning, but you are, even if it's unconsciously. So now we're learning to take away and peel back the meanings that we have been giving everything in our reality.
Yeah, even to label something, we've given it
Mm-hmm.
meaning, right? And so
Yes.
what,
Mm-hmm.
after doing this lesson, what blew my mind, I was like, we only call this a hand because someone once called it a hand.
Yes.
And I'm like, a tree, a car, a laptop, a phone. Like, we only ever call it that because eons ago, someone said, aha, a
Mm-hmm.
hand.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we all now have cemented the belief that this is a hand. Who
Yes.
says it's a hand? Because one person gave it that meaning, and then someone else gave it that meaning, and so on and so forth. It's
Yes.
wild when you start to strip that back.
Yes. And we're going to go deeper into that, into some of the future lessons as well.
I'm excited. Well, so that's a wrap for lesson one. So should we just do a quick summary of what it was? So the summary of the lesson is nothing I see. So you have to remove the meaning from everything that you are seeing. So nothing I see in this room means anything. This phone doesn't mean anything. This laptop doesn't mean anything. That car out there doesn't mean anything. And again, a reminder, you should only be doing this for a minute, 60 seconds, no more. You could spend your whole day doing it, but we do not advise that.
No.
This is, you know, it can be very dangerous if you're not monitoring how you do it. Like when I did this years ago, I went into a rabbit hole. So you have to be disciplined to follow along with how we're telling you to do it for your own
Yes.
mental health, because you could strip it back too far and then feel really lost and confused.
Yeah.
So again, we're giving you this guidance for a reason. Only do it for no more than a minute.
Yeah.
Scan your environment and let it go. Don't overthink about it. Don't play it over and over in your mind. You do this session and lesson with us here, and then you forget about it when this is finished.
Yeah. Yeah. The course recommends doing it just, yeah, once or twice a day. It suggests usually once in the morning, once in the evening, but it doesn't really matter what time of day. So yeah, with us on this lesson, on this video is great. And then if you want to do it one more time, that's fine, but no more than that. Yeah.
Perfect. We hope you enjoyed the first lesson, and we'll see you back for lesson two.